Welcome back. Today again we will be starting with another chapter. Okay, so including this, and we have another chapter. Okay, we will complete that in the coming days. Okay, so today we will be studying about the Indian parliamentary system. Okay, in our previous class or in our previous chapters, we were discussing about the ideals of our constitution. Okay, how our constitution came into being. Okay, and what are the constitution, what are the things that our constitution provide the citizen of our country. We were studying about that. Okay, now we will look into the parliamentary system of India. Okay, so we will learn why the parliamentary system is in existence in India. Okay, so we will look into it one by one. So moving ahead, okay, what was the reason? Okay, what was the reason for our, for the people who established, the country right after the independence? What was the reason for them opting for a parliamentary system of government? Okay, so number one is being a British colony, India was influenced by the parliamentary system. Okay, parliamentary system was existent in Europe. Okay, mostly in Britain. Okay, so what happened here was, now India was the colony. Okay, was a colony of the British people. Okay, and so what happened, so Indians looked up into that parliamentary system, or they got influenced by the British and their parliamentary system. So they wanted to have the same kind of a system to be there in India right after independence. Okay, number two is to give equal representation to all. Okay, maybe in terms of religion, maybe in terms of linguistic. Okay, they if so that they could be able to elect their own representative. Okay, so they opted for a parliamentary system so that they will have equal representation on all spheres. Number three is the executive, okay, being responsible for to the parliament. Okay, reduce the chances of dictatorial or dictatorship. Okay, so here no one can become, a kind of a dictator, or no one will come and rule. Okay, just on his own will. Okay, so what happens here is, in order for India not to become a kind of a dictatorship country, okay, they wanted to opt for a parliamentary system where everything was equal and just for the people of the nation. Okay, so that is why India adopted the parliamentary system of government. So if you look in this picture, okay, so this is the Parliament of India. Okay, so the Indian Parliament consists of the President. Okay, the President of India, as well as the two houses of the Parliament, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so the parliament and the two houses form the union legislature. Okay, so we have the parliament, okay, which is headed by the president, and then you'll have the two houses, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Okay, we will look into detail about the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Okay, first is the Lok Sabha. Okay, so I already talked about the parliament. Okay, the parliament has the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so firstly we'll be talking about the Lok Sabha. Okay, so the Lok Sabha is also called as the House of the People. Okay, the Lok Sabha is also called as the House of the People, or it can be called as the lower house of the Indian Parliament. Okay, so the composition means the number of members to be there in the Lok Sabha is, okay, it has a maximum number of, or we can say a strength of 552 members. Okay, out of this, okay, 530 members are elected from the respective states. Okay, and 20 members are elected from the union territories. Okay, so 530 members or 530 seats. Okay, so 530 seats, okay, as I said, okay, 530 seats will come from the states of India. Okay, and 20 will be given to those union territories which are there in our country. Okay, so seats are allotted in each of the states according to the population. Say if you have a very big population, then two members or maybe three members would be two members, okay, sorry, two members or three members would be inculcated in the Lok Sabha, okay, from one state. Okay, so the president of India can also, okay, the president of India can also nominate two members who are from the Anglo-Indian community. Okay, if he feels that the community is not adequately represented. Okay, so the president can choose two members from the, you know, from the Anglo-Indian community. Okay, if they feel that these Anglo-Indian community are not given good representatives. Okay, so eligibility. Okay, in order to contest in the Lok Sabha, what is the criteria? Okay, number one is he or she, okay, should be a citizen of India, okay, and should be above 25 years. Okay, and if he does not, you know, qualify, okay, if this he has no, you know, if he does not, if he or she, okay, can be disqualified if, okay, number one is he holds any office, okay, of profit under the government of India. Okay, if a person, okay, he or she is in an office and he obtains profit under the government of India, then he or she will not be permissible to, you know, take part in the Lok Sabha. He is of an unsound mind. Okay, means he should be mentally okay. Okay, he should be mentally okay in order to reside, in order to contest for the Lok Sabha seats. Number three is he has acquired citizenship. He has acquired citizenship of any other country. So if he or she, okay, goes to another country and gets a citizenship out there in the other country, then he or she will not be permitted to contest in the Lok Sabha. Okay, and the tenure, okay, in order to be a member in the Lok Sabha is for a term of 5 years. Okay, so so a person, okay, can hold the Lok Sabha seat for 5. If a party becomes powerless, okay, then what happens is the president can dissolve the Lok Sabha. Okay, and also in times of emergency, what happens is for 1 year they can extend the tenure of the Lok Sabha. Next is the procedure of election in the Lok Sabha. So for the election of members in the Lok Sabha are, okay, so like I said, 5 years is the tenure. So right after the tenure, what happens is Lok Sabha elections are held in every state. Okay, constituencies are divided in order for the election process to take place. Okay, and they would select and they would vote for the rightful candidate. Okay, and so a person who is above 18 years of age, okay, has the right to go and vote for the candidate. And also the process is, okay, they will be given a secret ballot paper, okay, to vote, or they will even use the voting machine in order to cast their votes for the Lok Sabha election. Okay, so next is the speaker, okay, who will preside over the Lok Sabha. Okay, that is the speaker. Okay, so the members of the parliament, okay, the members of the parliament, they will elect, okay, the presiding officer or the speaker of the Lok Sabha, okay, from among themselves. So the speaker is chosen from the ruling party, okay, and he is expected to act in an impartial manner. So he should not be partial on any case, he should be neutral. Okay, so what happens is the winning political party, okay, the speaker will be from the winning party, okay, and also it will be elected by the parliament. Okay, and so the speaker will not be impartial to any matters. Okay, and the speaker should supervise the proceeding and maintain order in the house. Okay, and the first person or the first speaker of the Lok Sabha was GV Mavalankar. Okay, he was the first speaker of the Indian Lok Sabha. Okay, moving on, next we have the Rajya Sabha, which is also known as the upper house in the parliament, okay, or the upper house of the parliament, okay, and it has a maximum of about 250 fixed seats or members, okay, in the Rajya Sabha, out of which 238, okay, out of which 238 are to be chosen from the respective states, and 12 are nominated by the President of India. Okay, so the vice president, okay, the vice president is the presiding officer as well as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so eligibility in order to contest for the Rajya Sabha is he or she should be a citizen of India and should not be less than 30 years of age. Okay, in case some of the points, okay, which can lead a person to be disqualified from contesting in the Rajya Sabha are, okay, if he holds or if he or she holds any office of profit under the government of India. Okay, so he or she, okay, should not be working in any of the government offices and earning profit. Okay, number two is he or she should be of unsound, he should not have unsound mind. Okay, should be mentally stable in order to or work for the country. He has acquired the citizenship of another country. Okay, if he or she has a citizenship of another country, then that person will not be eligible in order to contest for the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so the term in order to work in the Rajya Sabha is the members of the Rajya Sabha are elected for a term of 6 years. Okay, so 1/3 of its members retire every 2 years. Okay, thereafter fresh elections are announced for the seat vacated in the beginning of the third year. Okay, so seats, the term for the Rajya Sabha is for 6 years. Okay, but most of them, okay, they do for around 2 years and then they retire. Okay, so if a vacant post is there, what happens is election is taken from the constituencies from where that person retired. Okay, so the parliament session, now we will move to the parliament session. Okay, so parliament session is nothing, okay, but the session which are held. Okay, the parliament session means the conduct of the parliament, so it is divided into sessions. Okay, so our constitution empowers the president. Okay, the president summons the house. Okay, and the parliament according to our constitution must meet at least twice a year. Okay, so the parliament should meet for at least twice a year. It should be not a gap, okay, more than 6 months. Okay, the parliament should meet for consecutively 2 times in a year. Okay, and should not exceed more than 6 months, okay, between the 2 sessions. Okay, so the president has the power to summon both the houses, okay, and discontinue the meeting of either of the houses without dissolving it. Okay, if the house does not come to any conclusion, the president can dissolve the house. Okay, dissolve the house of the people in consultation with the prime minister. So the president will have a consultation with a prime minister, and they will dissolve the house if the houses do not come to a solution. Okay, so the functions of the parliament. Okay, the functions of the parliament are, they have been divided into certain categories. Okay, the number one is the introduction of new laws. Okay, so the parliament plays a very important role when new laws are to be, come about in the country. Okay, so introduction of new laws. So the parliament, what they will do is, in order to change the old one, okay, what they will do is, the law is first introduced in the houses, okay, in both the houses as a bill. Okay, remember that a law is not passed just like that. A law first has to come to both the house as a bill. Okay, so only after, getting the consent of all the people in the parliament, the bill is drafted. Okay, is drafted, and later on the bill can be broadly classified into three categories. Okay, so they can be classified into money bill, ordinary bill, constitution amendment bill. Okay, so first the law goes as a bill to both the houses, and afterwards the bill gets drafted. Okay, and it is categorized into three categories, that is money bill, ordinary bill, constitutional amendment bill. Okay, so we will look into it one by one. Under the money bill, okay, it contains, provisions related, the money bill will include about tax regulation, as well as regulation for borrowing money by the government of India. Okay, so it will include all the money matter in this money bill. Okay, payment or the withdrawal of contingency, okay, or the consolidated fund of India. Okay, all the money related issue will come under this money bill. Next is ordinary bill. Ordinary bill are drafted proposal of ordinary legislation for ordinary basis. Okay, the last is constitutional amendment. Constitutional amendment bill deals with the amendment of our constitution. This can be introduced in either houses of the parliament. Okay, next we have the second was the money bill, and the third is control over the executives. Okay, so under this comes the government income. Okay, so any kind of income and expenditure which is made by the government, okay, the parliament provides ways and means to raise revenue required. Okay, and also ensure that the money which is granted has to be spent by the authorized purpose. Okay, if a project is given, it has to be used for that purpose. Okay, it will not be used in any other means. So the parliament, okay, what they do is they try to control over this kind of issues as well. Under this financial control over executive, you also have budget. Okay, the government places its annual financial statement or the budget before the parliament. The budget shows the income of the government in detail and how the money will be spent during the particular year. Okay, so what happens is planning is very much needed. Okay, so what happens here is the government places its financial statement stating that the country will use this amount of money for this particular period of time. Okay, so what happens is they will show the budget, okay, that the government gets as an income, and also shows the parliament how the money would be used for the country. Okay, so next, control over executive. Okay, so the parliament plays a very important role by keeping a check on the ministers, okay, on their work that they perform. Okay, so the members of the parliament have the right to question the ministers on their work which is done, okay, as well as their programs which were implemented under the government of India. Okay, so this questioning hour is done mostly, okay, during the question hour which is being set. After the question hour is over, okay, they have the 0 hour. Okay, so during the 0 hour, which starts immediately after the question hour, okay, what happens here is the members, okay, raise issues on the public interest or for the public interest. Okay, if any kind of issues are prevailing in the states, okay, they can raise these issues in the parliament during that time. Okay, if the members, okay, are not satisfied with the functioning of the government, okay, the Lok Sabha can pass a vote of no confidence to remove the government from power. Okay, so what happened here is, if the elected government is not doing much for the people, okay, then what happened here is the members of the Lok Sabha, they can pass um, no confidence, okay, for the government to be removed. Okay, so the executive, okay, the control over the executive, yes, the parliament checks the ministers and everything. Okay, they can also remove the government, they have the right to remove the government as well. Okay, next you have the organ of information. So if any of the ministers, okay, or the members of the parliament, okay, they want to acquire information, okay, so then they can acquire information from the parliament. Okay, because the parliament have concrete information, okay, they are truthful and they are precise over the information that they give. Okay, the information is collected not only through debates, okay, but also through specific medium of questions from the ministers. Okay, and don't imagine that question like the information would be like something very deep which would threaten the country. It is not like that. Okay, so informations would be provided by the parliament to the members, okay, based on their conduct, based on the nature of the conduct. Okay, they will not go to the extent of opening up everything to the members as well, but the parliament plays as the organ for information because they give concrete truth as well as precise information to the people or to the members of the both the houses under the parliament. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this class. We will discuss about the president as well as the working of the prime minister in our next class. Thank you and have a nice day.